It's time for the Cover Price Top 10 list. Is it absolute? Is it Mark Spears Monsters? Is it something else? Is there a land shark at the door? What made the list? What's number one? We're going to break it all down up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hello, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the description of this video. You have my email, my eBay, my whatnot, my Instagram. We do whatnot sales every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern time. There's a coupon code in there and so on and so forth. Also, Taurus Auctions, who I deal with, they are doing an auction of some really cool slabs, including like for Swamp Thing, ASM 300. The link is in the description there. Starts tomorrow on, I believe it's December 19th. So you can check out that link for some possibilities. Maybe get some deals. There's just 20% hammer price on it is a buyer's premium. Anyway, let's get into this top 10 list from Covrprice. Coming at number 10, Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, number 6 from Dark Horse. And this is it's a 2023 book. This is the first appearance of the son of Jabba the Hutt. And you can see it's about a $10 book. No CG. There are no books on the CGC census. And while some of you may have forgotten, the fan will eventually receive a Mandalorian and Grogu film. Recently, it was announced that Jeremy Allen White of the Bear fame will be voicing the beloved character of Rhoda the Hutt. He's lesser known than his father Jabba, but still a Hutt. He made his debut in this book, and with him set to appear in the Star Wars universe, fans opted to secure a copy. So the Cover Price Top 10, again, these are books that are moving most in the aftermarket. And there we go. No Pizza the Hutt, but this is Rhoda the Hutt. Let's stay with the Star Wars theme as we go to number 9, and it's Star Wars number 7 from 1978. This is the first appearance of Crimson Jack. This is also the first issue of the series that told original stories. The first 6 issues were a retelling of A New Hope. Now, this is a fairly common book. You have to watch, though, right? You want the barcode. You want no reprint. There is a Whitman variant. That's really the only reprint that's going to have the diamond up in the corner box for the price and the number, and it's going to have a blank spot where the UPC would be. That is not worth as much. But this is a book that's been like a $10, maybe $15 to $20 book in really high grade. But it is from 1978, so it is harder to get in a 9.8. There are 1,200 copies on the census. Just about a quarter of them are 9.8s. Another quarter are 9.6s. And we can see the price of this kind of meandered, and it did jump up just leading up to the boom. It got over $100 and then jumped up closer to 300, and it's been in that 200 to 300 range ever since. Pretty consistent. Didn't see a big bump during the boom nor a big slide down back afterwards. We'll see. There are quite a few copies moving, in the last week, whereas it had been like 2 copies in the last 2 months. But the prices stayed pretty fixed. And those tuning into the newest Star Wars Disney outing, Skeleton Crew, were in for a treat. Jude Law portrays Crimson Jack, a pirate master and rival to Han Solo. The lore right there sold a ton of Star Wars fans on scouring the aftermarket for his first appearance. But they were in for a secondary treat, as the book was the first original Star Wars story to appear in a comic book. Let's go to number 8 on the list, and it's War of the Realms, New Agents of Atlas, number 1. A plethora of first appearances: Luna Snow, Wave, Crescent, Io. And it's the first U.S. appearance of Arrow, and there is a Swordmaster cameo on the cover, and that's what is making this book hit. This book is a speculation darling, which has led to a bazillion copies being submitted, 5,200 on the census, and 81%. Only 81% of those are 9.8s. That's because so many of them were submitted 21, 22 during the comic boom, when people are like, any book is worth submitting. But we can see here by the fair market values, right? A 9.8 is worth $60 to $70 maybe, and a 9.6 is worth a little more than case cost. So again, this is one of those books that's not worth having in a 9.8. People aren't. Now, the most recent sale, $120. That is pretty hefty, but this was a book that, man, it got up, and you got to be careful when like people start speculating. This is April 2021. This was when things were crazy town. $250 for a copy. That's when the demand exceeded the supply. Things have reversed quite a bit. There's plenty of supply of this in a 9.8 to meet whatever demand there is. You can find a 9.8 of this. If we look available, somebody's asking $99, $89 for a 9.8. Somebody's asking $3. Well, that might be a variant. A 9.8, there's a bid at $51. Be interesting to see where the auctions end up. Anyway, plenty of this on the census, and this is hitting the list because the book has been hot off and on for years, but Marvel Rivals is pushing it to new heights. It features Swordmaster's first appearance and only on the cover. Swordsmaster plays a prominent role in Marvel Rivals as Iron Fist, and the internet dubbed him OPAF. I don't know. We're not here to debate, but this book is prevalent for new fans who want a slice of the action. Let's go to number 7 on the list. And number 7 is It's Jeff. Number 1, featuring Jeff the Landshark. This is from 2023. And you see the numeric copies are going up near $100. They're pretty much getting to the same value as the graded books. We'll see how this factors in. Supply and demand, right? There are only 60 graded copies. 50 of those are 9.8s. So there's not a lot of availability. Be careful with this. Right? This is a book that was hovering around case cost. And then there was a $95 sale in August and then a $91 sale in October. There haven't been any recent sales of this in a 9.8. And Jeff the Landshark has essentially become the Marvel poster boy overnight. Fans are enthralled with the little guy, so those who missed his first appearance had to check out his first solo series. Surprising, it's this book. It's a nice consolation prize for those unable to earn, willing to shell out some serious scratch on the alternative. Be careful of this. I mean, it's not a high print book, but it is a recent book, and probably there are plenty of 9.8 candidates sitting in back issue bins or in collections. So I would be a little wary of this book. Now, talking about Jeff, let's go to West Coast Avengers number 7 from 2019, which is the first appearance of Jeff the Landshark. This is an expensive book, about $150 high grade raw, up to $400 for a 9.8. If we look at the 9.8 prices, now here's again supply and demand. 136 copies on the census. That's not a lot. 58% of them are 9.8s. Now, the 9.6 still has value, but look at these 9.8 prices. It was around $200 up to $300, and then $500, $525, $525, and $495, the 3 most recent sales. There aren't a lot of them out there, so be careful in terms of the graded books versus raw books. You know, you have this kind of dual thing because it is a newer book. So they're going to be an essentially higher grade, but we're talking about Marvel paper quality. So getting the 9.8, avoiding, you know, spine ticks and everything is a gamble on a raw book. But, you know, there are high grade raw books out there. I'm not sure there are how many of them will be 9.8 contenders, but that's what it is. Marvel Rivals dropped and took the gaming and comic communities by storm, prominently featuring one adorable landshark named Jeff. The intersected communities immediately hit the aftermark to secure Jeff's first appearance. As the pet of Gwenpool, he already had a certain charm to him, but Marvel Rivals dialed it up and a whole new set of fans are swooning. The book has been a steady rise for years before the game dropped, and now collectors are scrambling to secure the first appearance of this low print run title. Now, is this anything the MCU is going to use? Marvel Rivals is pushing it. I don't think that has as much sustainability in terms of popularity compared to the MCU. Where would Jeff the Landshark fit in? Certainly, and with Gwenpool, I think animated might be a way that they would go, but we'll see. Marvel slowing down production. It's a, you know, a little bit of a in terms of spec, it's a little bit of a not a sure thing, certainly. A little bit of a long shot. Long shot for Landshark. Okay, let's go to number 5 on the list. And number 5 is Captain America 180. Couldn't Covrprice get a better copy to make a scan of? This is from 1974. It's the first appearance of Steve Rogers as Nomad, where he gets this cool costume, these big buttons, and the the open shirt there and everything. Anyway, this is a book, again, it's from 1974, so it's an older book. There are 547 on the census, only 21 or 4% are 9H, which isn't surprising. The most common appears to be about a 9.4. If you want a high grade, 9.4 is going to trade hands more often than others. And this book has been it didn't really get boosted too much during the boom, and it hasn't dropped too much. It's about a $200 book. And if raw copies are selling for what? $50, $20 for mid-grade to lower grade, you're going to get closer to 50 or so, 60 for a higher grade book. It's going to be hard to find a 9.8 of a 50-year-old book. The speculation surrounding this book is moving quickly. This book features numerous first appearances, including the Roxxon Corporation and Steve Rogers as Nomad. Roxxon was briefly seen in the trailer back in 2023 for the upcoming Captain America New World Order, releasing early next year. More recent news, however, is that Chris Evans is set to return for Avengers Doomsday. The rub is that Anthony Mackie is solidified as the new Cap, so fans naturally assumed Evans would return as Nomad. With all the talk surrounding the next Avengers installment, the term variant has been thrown around like crazy. Okay, Chris Evans coming back for probably not playing Human Torch again. Could he be playing Nomad? Yes. Could he be playing Captain Hydra? One rumor is that they're going to go with a multiversal evil Avengers, sort of like Marvel's version of the Crime Syndicate, with Maestro, Hulk, and so on. We'll see. Or maybe he's just returning as Captain America. I still want a Disney Plus series with him returning the stones. So this is speculation without any evidence that it's this character Chris Evans will be portraying. Just speculation on who he could be portraying, right? Maybe they could do some timey-wimey thing and do like a World War II Invaders kind of situation. Who knows? But we'll see. It's always been a solid key, but again, it's from 1974. Harder to find in high grade. You're still going to have to pay a decent amount of money for it. Okay, let's go to number 4 on the list. Coming in at number 4 on the list is last week's Superwoman special number 1 with Superwoman and Lobo. And here's the thing. This is a cover by Mark Spears, who's been all over this list with his Monsters books and all those variant covers. He found time to do a 1 in 25 for DC. And this book has been like, look, the regular book is about Covrprice, but this book upwards of $100. Mark Spears' name you'll see all over the internet, but this book is an excellent reason for seeing such a surge. He brought his signature style to this cover featuring Lois Lane as Superwoman dangling Lobo like a chump. Fans are somewhat eager to check it out thanks to it's featuring the origin of Lois as Superwoman. Still, it's a tougher book to secure, as most LCSs aren't ordering 25 copies to hit ratio, and most DC hit is on the Absolute Universe. Those who missed out immediately pivoted to the aftermarket. Let's go to number 3. And number 3 is from Dynamite. It's Thundercats Apex, issue number 1, covered by Mark Spears. This guy's been busy. This book is going for about, $29 raw. It came out 2 weeks ago. Like its variant cousin, this book was trending as Covrprice until collectors realized it wasn't landing at their LCS. Cue the mad scramble to secure copies and the subsequent market movement that's playing out. Mark Spears and the Thundercats are hot commodities currently. The nostalgia bug is burning through the community, and Dynamite knows how to stoke those flames. Still, this book is tougher to secure now that everyone is scouring the aftermarket for it. How many copies of Thundercats Apex did your LCS order? I don't know. But let's look at number 2 on the list. And that's Thundercats Apex number 1, the Virgin variant by Mark Spears. It's a 1 in 15. That's going for more like $75, a $200 sale. Wow. Some people really want this. And if you're a Mark Spears fan and a Thundercats fan, that would make sense. Mark Spears has been getting much attention with his monster series, but he has other ongoing works to check out. That includes this book, a variant of the new Thundercats series, as most fans hung their hats on potentially getting a copy at their LCS, but were left out to dry. This book was available through Dynamite, and once word got out, the aftermarket exploded, whereas this book was trending at ratio prior. However, if you have to have it, Dynamite still has the metal variants available as of this writing. I don't know about the publication now. Let's see. Thundercats Apex #1. Dynamite. Comics. Dynamite Entertainment. I guess that would be it. Let's search for Thundercats Apex. #1. There it is. Yes, the metal. You get the metal for $99. Yeah, that seems to be the one that's available. Yeah, if you want to spend $100 in the metal, I'm going to spend my $100 elsewhere. I mean, it might be worth it. You certainly would get a chance at a 9.9 or a 10 with a metal cover, but I'm going to move on to #1 on the list, and it is Ultimate Universe. 1 year in, #1. This is the variant edition, the Alessandro Cappuccio spoiler. It's the first appearance of the Earth 6160 Nick Fury and Wolverine. It was a good read, an interesting read. And we see on the cover here the Ultimate Wolverine, or this Ultimate Wolverine. And it's going for about $15. Since the design of the new Ultimate Wolverine debuted a few months ago, fans have been chomping at the bit to secure this book, but our very own Lefteros gave everyone a heads up on the spoiler cover in this FOC and this NCBD. These are two articles that Covrprice does about upcoming books. It marks his first appearance along with this new universe, Nick Fury, but this book is one of the few to display this iteration of Wolverine on the cover. It also homages a Dynamite Wolverine cover from years past that features the first appearance of Weapon X within. These layered variants get the community going. This book did just that. So it's interesting. Absolute pops to #1. Mark Spears, no monsters, but 3 other covers that he did are in spots 2 through 4. And there's no absolute on the top 10. But what about the runners-up? Let's check those. Those are always fun to go through briefly. #11, it's Jeff, 3rd print, issue #1. #12, Venom War #5, which has made the list recently. The all-new Venom on the cover. Spawn #1 just keeps rolling along at #13. It's Jeff. This is another variant of It's Jeff. DC All-In Special comes in at #15. First appearance of the Absolute Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. Invincible #16 with a season 3 trailer, which revealed a ton. The trailer was actually released earlier than it was supposed to be on Amazon Prime. A few lucky fans were able to see it early and took screenshots to share. Now that it's officially out, fans are buying up key issues in anticipation of the series. In the trailer, we saw a quick glimpse of fan favorite character Battle Beast. Not only that, the original creative team behind Invincible comic books is getting together once again. They will be producing a new book series in the Invincible universe focused on Battle Beast, coming out in 2025. There's Mark Spears Monsters #1, cover D, the Incredible Hulk 340 homage. Iron Fist #1. We saw that New Agents of Atlas made the list. This is cover A for Swordmaster as Iron Fist. The Mark Spears Monsters Bridezilla cover comes in at 19. And at #20 is the favorite book of John from Bronze and Modern Gods. It only made #20 on this list. It wasn't as hot. This is Cap playing a Hydra agent, which was, let's say, controversial, to say the least. So that's going to do it for this week's top 10 list. Do you have any of these books? Do you want any of these books? Write it in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I'd like to thank you for stopping by. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my other videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time.